Well, let's go ahead and get started. Hello again, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our webinar today. My name is Liz. I'm the Customer Engagement Coordinator here at Wodify. I'm very excited to have members of the Wodify team here with us today to take a deep dive into the power of our mobile app Coach View. Today, you'll learn that when used to its full potential, Coach View can turn your good coaches into great ones. All right, so let me introduce you to the awesome team that you'll be hearing from today. First, we have Brendan Rice, Wodify's CEO. Next, we have Hung, who is the product manager of our mobile app and who helped bring Coach View to life. Bailey is one of our product designers and has worked on Coach View functionality and upcoming designs, which, hint, hint, you'll learn more about soon. And then we also have Alana from account management and Sydney from customer success joining us. So they'll be here if you have any account or support related questions. All right, so that's a great way to segue into some Zoom tips. So a few things to note before we get started. If you look on the bottom of your screen, you'll see a chat, Q&A, and reactions tab. So for chat, just feel free to use that as a space to interact with both us and the other owners on the webinar today. For Q&A, please submit questions in there throughout the end for our team to answer toward the end. And for reactions, as pictured here, if you navigate to the reactions tab and click raise hand, that will let us know when you have a question or comment, and we can actually unmute you and you can talk to us live. So if you were on our webinar a few months ago that touched on communication best practices, you know that we love hearing your voices. So please feel free to chime in if you have any questions toward the end. All right, so let's hop into today's agenda. So the goal of today's session is to give you all a behind the scenes look at Coach View through the lens of those who created and designed it. So we're going to cover our design process, what inspires us to build features, and how do we build them. You'll gain insights into what led to the development of Coach View. We're also going to give a live demo and go over our recommended strategies and approaches so you can optimize client retention in your business. And then lastly, you'll also get an exclusive look at the features we have in store for you in the coming months, which will definitely give you a competitive edge in your business as well. So what is Coach View? Coach View is a tool for coaches to easily manage classes and clients directly from their mobile device. This will improve your ability to provide a personalized experience and improve your client retention and ultimately your revenue. So what I want to do is share with you how and why we built Coach View. So I'm going to introduce you to Hung, who I mentioned was our product manager for the mobile app. So Hung, do you mind sharing with us the evolution of Coach View and how it came to fruition?
Absolutely. Thanks, Liz, and hello, everyone. Before we dive into Coach View specifics, let me give you a behind-the-scenes sneak peek at what our process looks like here at Wodify when designing and creating a new feature. So the very first thing we do is we scour our support email database, Zendesk, for customer feedback that's useful. We're looking for pain points, issues, ideas, and recommendations. Next, we also have a feedback platform called ideas.wodify.com, where we capture ideas customers submit directly to us. When we're building a new feature, we take a look at some of these ideas and see if we should incorporate them in. Next, we're also a big fan of calling customers directly. For example, for the upcoming point of sales relaunch, I picked up the phone and called gyms who are using our self-service point of sale feature to solicit feedback. We love hearing what our customers have to say and hearing their perspective. Next, we also run some internal focus groups with our customer success, account management, onboarding, and sales teams to get an idea of what customers are talking about and what would prove most useful to them. Having a variety of perspectives is important so that we can have a diverse view of the problem set. Next, competitor research is an important part of this process as well. We want to see what our competitors are doing and see what's working versus what's not. If our competitor delivers a very successful feature, we might want to analyze and innovate upon their success. Lastly, great intuitive design informs everything that we do. There are a number of apps that are produced by the big tech companies that are the holy grail of UI and UX. We are shameless about copying as we believe that a simple, intuitive, and familiar user experience is great design. So we'll copy how Google creates their calendar widget or how Apple creates their settings menus. Next, let's go over some quick examples of these steps in the context of designing Coach View. Okay, so starting with direct customer feedback. Over the years, we've had a number of requests for coach-specific features, like these examples asking for coaching notes and performance history to be easily accessible while coaching. So the challenge was that historically, we've had two apps, one that was client-focused and one that was admin-focused. The reality of the admin app is that it worked, but the user experience wasn't great and it wasn't built for these use cases that customers were asking for. And this internal feedback aligned with what we were hearing from customers. Here's an example from Carla, our account management team lead, who shared that many customers are trying to improve their class experience by ensuring coaches knows who's in class and has 100% attendance accuracy. So we made sure to implement features that allowed for this. Lastly, as we began designing our version of Coach View, we've looked at competitive products and made sure to include common best practices and look for ways to improve and innovate existing features, such as showing a coach their coaching schedule and highlighting newer clients in class. Okay, to summarize, we knew we had to A, get rid of app overload and streamline the coach-specific features into a singular app, and B, create a tight user experience around the key features that coaches need, ensuring that they can deliver a VIP client experience. So after compiling all this feedback and more, our product design team brings it to life with actual designs. So Bailey, I'll pass it to you to go over some original designs and adjustments we made as we built out Coach View.
Thanks so much, Han. Alrighty. So I'm sharing with you guys the design software that we use to create pretty much everything in Wodify before it goes to development. The first example I want to show you is illustrating how we thought through our coaches accessing Coach View via the client app. Since we wanted to keep everything streamlined in one app, you can see here that our first version had coaches logging in through a specific button that would take them into Coach View. And actually, too, it's very cool. We can show that we can show exactly how interactions work in Figma here by creating live links between things. This example specifically, we didn't end up going with it because if you were to log in, you would be stuck on the Coach View side of things. And we got a lot of feedback that said that we wanted to be able to quickly toggle back and forth between both client view and Coach View. So for our second iteration, we kept coaches logged in. They didn't have to go all the way back to the login screen, but we used this larger banner that would let coaches know that they are in fact in Coach View and toggle between coach and client view. It was a little bit overkill, and we decided that we wanted to try to keep Coach View and client view as close to each other as possible. You'll see that in the next one. So you're probably familiar with what we landed on today. We now have a simple toggle at the top of the screen to switch between coach and client view. This illustrates a design principle that we have, which is to create similar user experiences for both the coach and client, and also to remind users which view they are currently in. So this way, coaches know exactly what it looks like for clients when they come to them with questions. Another example I wanted to show you guys was our percentage slider. So our first design had a percent button on the top right that you had to click into, and then this would open up a little sliding scale at the bottom of the screen. This ended up kind of violating one of our mobile design principles, which is to reduce the amount of kind of overstretching in order to complete tasks. So quick design fix here. We ended up putting a percent button at the very bottom, much more easily accessible with your thumb. Open it, gives you the same drawer, and then you can adjust your percentage button and get everybody's results right there on the screen. Pass it back to you, Liz.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that background, Bailey. I hope that all kind of gives you a behind the scenes look at how features come to life here at Wodify. So moving along here, I'm going to let Brendan and Hung walk through a live demo of Coach View, including its key features and tips on how to get the most value for your business.
All right, thanks so much, Liz, and hey, everyone. So now we've seen kind of how we input customer feedback and ideas to come up with features we're going to build, how our design team maps them out kind of in a quick and dirty way so we can test functionality, make decisions. Now we're going to dig into the software. So Hung is going to go through a live demo of a few areas that we think Coach View can really help drive value to your business. The first thing we're going to focus on is managing classes. So let's start there. We're going to cover how to quickly see important client alerts and take action as soon as people show up for class. We're going to cover how to ensure everyone gets correctly signed into class in order to keep your attendance data as accurate as possible, because that's really important to be able to manage, make business decisions and just know how your business is doing and which of your clients are engaged. And then lastly, we're going to make sure everyone has a profile picture, just because it sounds small, but that really does make a difference in building personal connections and community at your gym. So Hung is going to actually share his phone. We're going to do a live demo, so you'll be able to see all this stuff in action. And I am going to attempt to kind of annotate the screen as he's going to show you what he's clicking on. So Hung, let's do it.
Thumbs up if you guys can see my screen, please. Fantastic. Okay, so I am in the client app in Coach View. So the very first thing I want to point out is the Coach View toggle at the very top of the screen. As Bailey mentioned, we intentionally designed the toggle to allow coaches to seamlessly switch between the client perspective and the coach perspective so that coaches can remain close to the client experience. Okay, so I'm currently a coach at Ultimate Fitness. First thing I'll do before class is open the app to the homepage and see my coaching schedule for the day. I'm able to quickly sign in as the coach for my class and for my appointments. So let's start with today's 2 p.m. class. I'll tap into it and go to the class detail screen. So to help with this, we created a feature called priority sort as we scan through the attendee list. So you'll notice that Carson and Micah are the very top, free trials and drop-ins are the very top. So we want to prioritize them. And then we sort it by member since date after or created date. So if I tap into this toggle here, I can sort of see a little info icon on what that is. So Carson's a free trial. So I'm going to make sure that I'm going to introduce myself and give her a quick tour of the gym. I can also see any alerts for any clients, such as missing waiver, so that I can quickly address them in person. So if you see Vanessa down there at the very bottom with a missing waiver chip, for example, I can click into her client profile, just tap into it, and I'm able to email her waiver directly to her. So I'm going to tap this text right here. And waiver sent, there we go. So in the future, we're actually going to allow coaches to have clients sign the waiver right here, right now on the coach's phone. But for now, you can send the waiver to her. She'll get a notification on her Wodify app, and she can sign the waiver there. Let's go back into the class detail screen. I can also see personal notes about my clients as well as tags, which can help provide a more personalized coaching experience. So for example, if I go all the way up, you'll see that Steph Curry is currently injured, and he also has a note. So I'm going to tap into his client profile. I can see that his injury is related to his shoulder and the notes down there. So today we're doing the snatch. I'm going to make sure I give him an appropriate scaling option. Okay, let's go back into class detail. Another alert to keep an eye on. I see that Bella Jacobs has a red circle around her profile picture, which means that she's flagged as at risk by Retain. For those of you who don't know, Retain is our flagship retention intelligence model that leverages millions of data points to predict which of your clients is most likely to cancel their membership. So that you want to pay attention to this for sure. And because of that, I'm going to make sure to have a quick chat with her before class to make sure she's feeling welcome. And after chatting with her, I can go into her client profile here, tap open Retain to take action, that purple text down there. And I'm able to log this contact. So I'm going to hit log contact. So it turns out she was on vacation for a while. So I'm going to put that. I'm going to put class as a contact type, on vacation. Done. I'm going to hit save. Contact logged successfully. And also I can use our snooze feature at the very bottom, which will pause Bella from showing up Retain for a certain period of time, such as the time she's on vacation. So 30 days, we can hit save. I can go back into the class detail screen, have the screen update, and voila, Bella is no longer flagged by Retain. All right. So as class is about to start, I'm able to see who has signed in and who still is reserved / on the wait list. You'll see those badges / signed in things on the right side. As a best practice, have your coaches keep an eye out for people who still need to be signed in as the class start time approaches to ensure you have the most accurate attendance data. So it looks like Alex showed up, hasn't signed in yet. So I want to use that chance to say hi and sign her into class. So let's hit sign in for Alex. And then I'm going to also sign in the rest of the class. So let's do Carson. Let's do Bella. Let's do Vanessa. Fantastic. You can also easily remember everyone's name, but I see that Bella doesn't have her profile picture. So let's quickly fix that by offering to take a picture for them. Let's go into the client profile by tapping on her name. I'm going to take a quick picture of her for demo purposes, it's going to be me. Obviously, this will help me and other coaches remember her name while also providing the best social experience on the leaderboard as well as in chat. So let me see if we can do this. So
Bella,
this is
looking good.
this is Bella for our purposes today. Let's go back to the class detail, and you'll see that Bella will be updated once I refresh the page. And then I'm going to sign in George as well, because so George is on the wait list at the very bottom. You'll see +1 wait list. And then he showed up, and I know that George is going to be able to fit in this class because I can just like scan the room and see this extra space. So I'll sign in George, confirm, and then he signed in. My face is there under Bella. Where's George? He's super new, so he's at the top. Fantastic. So those are a few of the key features that coaches can use to manage classes. Brendan, back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Hung. Appreciate it. I think we're going to jump back to the slide deck as well. And so just to highlight a few key things there before we move on, we went through how a coach could really use Coach View right around the kind of as they're getting ready to lead a class, that early part of class to more effectively engage with clients. So the first thing to just kind of reinforce there is making sure coaches know how that priority sort works and that they're monitoring any client alerts such as missing waivers, injury tags, or that red retained circle to provide a little bit of extra attention or take action. It's a lot easier to just build that into daily coaching habits than to try to every once in a while send out emails or call people when they're physically there in person. Just a lot better chance to take care of those alerts. Next, just making sure those coaches have everyone signed into class who's there, so you get that attendance accuracy. And for newer members, and again, this is what that priority sort helps with, make sure they go up, say hi, and introduce themselves by using Coach View. If you don't remember their name, great, it's right there in the app. And I think I've personally seen a lot of coaches just kind of, it's natural, like spend a lot of their time with the clients that they personally know the best, which is awesome because they're probably their friends, but those are probably the least likely people to cancel their membership. So this gives coaches a chance to really engage with those newer folks that they might not be as close with. And then lastly, going along with that, just double checking to make sure everyone has a profile picture. That enhances engagement, brings a sense of community on the leaderboard, and it serves as an identification for newer clients or when coaches have to switch class times and are coaching a client they don't typically interact with. It's a really like great experience for that client to have a new coach come up and already know their name as they're starting to talk to them. So that's just the beginning of Coach View, though. Let's get into the class. And Hung, can you walk us through how folks can use Coach View and Wodify Perform together? The kind of key features I'm going to have Hung walk through are how to maximize your use of coaching notes for a consistent class experience by reviewing those coach notes right before class, how to customize classes with performance recommendations using both group and individual metrics. This will go into that feature that Bailey showed us designing, the percentage of 1 rep max slider, how to increase retention by making sure every single client tracks their performance results, and then lastly, how to use videos and photos to provide visual feedback and help clients improve form over time. So Hung, let's jump back into Coach View and go over some of those performance tracking best practices.
For sure. Thank you, Brendan. Again, everyone, thumbs up, please, if you see my phone. Fantastic. All right, so notice I'm back in the class detail screen. I can tap that top button there, go to workout to view today's workout. Let's do go to workout. Okay, so before class starts, review the coaching notes for today's workout. I can click into it right there, and I can see what the class time frame is. I can see the stimulus and goals. I can see the movement progressions and overview, as well as common faults and corrections. Since we're working on the stats today, there's a quick overview of the movement, as well as a section at the end that illustrates some common faults and corrections that I can help assist my clients with. And let's go back to the workout tab. As we start warming up, I can click into the snatch component. So it's that card right there, and I can hit the results button and use the percent button to quickly let clients know their specific warm-up weight. So like in the coaching notes, it was 50% of the warm-up max. I'm going to hit that percent button at the very bottom and look at the right side. It's all in gray, but everyone who has history it'll dynamically update whenever I change this slider right here. So if I go to 50%, I can tell Tom 112, Alex 87, Steph 76, obviously the round. And I can also exit by hitting that exit button right there. For leads and drop-ins, you'll see NA. It's because they don't have any performance history, obviously. But for everyone else that does have metrics, you'll see it there. And by doing this, I can make sure that I provide an individualized coaching experience in a group class setting off from Coach View. So during the workout, as Tom goes into his working sets, I can tap on that performance graph icon right there. The graph. Yep. I can tap on that graph icon to provide more context and guidance as to how much weight he should use. So in this case, we're building up to a 1 rep max. I can tell Tom that his 1 rep max is 225. If he's feeling good and wants to go for a PR, he can sort of go for that PR. I'm also keeping an eye on my newer clients. And I see that George is attempting to do a snatch for the very first time. So as I'm coaching, I'll capture a quick video for him to upload at the end of class so he can see exactly what he's doing well and what sort of needs improvement. Okay, so as the workout ends, I want to make sure everyone records the results. Clients can record results using the Wodify app from their phone or just go to the kiosk. But since like George is newer and I just took a video of him doing a snatch, I'm going to add his results for him and upload the video. So let's go to the plus sign on the right side next to George Headley. Plus, let's do 135. Let's add attachment video. Go to my photo library. Go to George, hit done. I can also add a note that says, keep the bar close. There's also a toggle beneath that you'll notice. This basically allows George to only see this note if it's toggled off. If it's toggled on, then everybody would be sort of allowed to see that on the leaderboard. And then I'll hit save. Awesome. So I just want to go back into the result and show you that video that I just uploaded real quick. This is George doing a snatch. Beautiful form. Okay. And then one last thing. So in the future, we'll be adding functionality so that you can also make public leaderboard comments directly on the result on this like add edit result screen. But today you can also go to the leaderboard, add comments the same way other clients are able to. So with that, Brendan, I'm going to stop sharing and hand it back to you for a recap.
Awesome. Thank you, Hung. So hopefully that helped show all of the functionality for Coach View in the workout. To recap, the first thing you want to have coaches do is take full advantage of those coaching notes and review them before class to make sure they're providing the consistent high quality experience and really using that as a coach development tool. Quick plug, if you don't currently have the time or the process in place to really have thorough coaching notes, we have a workout marketplace that we have tons of partners that provide programming. All of them have really thorough coaching notes with videos. So if you're interested in signing up for any of those, encourage you to check them out. Next, offer clients performance recommendations by using that percentage of 1 rep max to view performance metrics for everyone in class, quickly giving them cues, or drill into that more detailed individual history. That really helps provide almost that personal training style of custom coaching in a group class setting, even if there's 15 or 20 people. So it really helps provide more value, and especially people that are maybe newer, shopping around a few different gyms. I can assure you their big box gym down the road, or even a lot of other group fitness classes, are not providing that level of personalization. Next, just make sure everyone records their performance. So they can do it through their own mobile app, but using Coach View, you can input those results for them, especially if you took a photo or video. And we have the data to prove that clients who track their workout performance are 3 times more likely to renew their membership. So there's a direct correlation between performance tracking and retention, and getting your coaches on board with using this is a great way to just enforce that. And then lastly, take videos of your clients performing those exercises, especially if they're newer to the gym. Even if it's just 2 or 3 clients per class, it really helps provide another level of visual feedback. Again, helps improve retention and highlights their progress over time. If you get in a habit of doing that, say fast forward 2 years and Hung took that video of George, you could take another video and George on the snatch component could go look at his video from 2 years ago and just see how much progress he's made over time. So really cool. Last area we're going to dive into Coach View. We're going to quickly touch on how to use appointments and Coach View to create a really cool and effective appointment experience. So 2 main things we're going to cover: how coaches can provide a VIP experience for every appointment client and stay on top of their appointment schedule. And then how you as a business owner can maximize your appointment revenue by always having a next appointment on the books before the client leaves. So that's kind of a best practice that we've seen, and we built features around that we'll dive into and show you live. So Hung, let's hand it back to you.
Thank you, Brendan. One last time, guys. Thumbs up if you can see my phone. Cool. All right, now that class is over, I know that I have some personal training appointments coming up. So I'm going to go to the schedule tab at the very bottom, schedule tab, and then make sure I'm in Coach View at the top, and then go to appointments right there. So I see that at 7 p.m. tonight, I have a personal training session with Alex. I can click into her client profile page to see any notes and tags or alerts in order to prepare for the appointment. So it looks like Alex's goals are working on increasing mobility and losing weight. Great. That means I'm going to get out the resistance bands and the rower that I know we're going to use today. So as it gets closer to 7 p.m., I'm going to sign myself into the appointment for payroll purposes. And then as Alex walks in the gym, I'll greet her and sign her in as well, right there. So as we're working together, I can actually add notes dynamically from the client profile screen. And I heard that she mentioned another one of her goals this year is to run a marathon. It's a great goal. So I want to make sure I remember that and add it here. So run a marathon as a note. You can hit done. Cool. So at the end of our appointment, we recommend having coaches leave the client with absolutely no homework by always confirming that the next appointment is scheduled. To do this, I can quickly click that book again button at the very bottom and find another time that works for Alex. So book again, schedule client.
You beat me to that. You beat me to clicking that one. But yeah, that book again button was right at the bottom. Sorry, I didn't highlight it in time.
No worries, Brendan. Thank you. So we're in my availability. That's me, Hung Tang, Sterling location. Let's try for Saturday. Let's do 7 p.m. Fantastic. Hit book. You hit the appointment detail screen. You can confirm that this is actually booked. Awesome. Let's go back into the main appointment screen. So it's good to note that coaches can schedule an appointment for actually any client from Coach View. So if I get an email asking me if I can do a personal training appointment later on, I can hit book appointment. Let's do personal training for 1 hour. That was my appointment service. Let's find Alex again, hit next, find a good time. Let's say Thursday, 7:30, book appointment, and voila. The appointment is booked for Alex. So that's how you manage appointments in Coach View. Brendan, I'll hand it back to you.
Thank you. So let's just wrap up with a recap of managing appointments in Coach View. The first thing Hung covered is just using Coach View to look at your schedule of appointments and providing that tailored VIP experience. So it sounds kind of small, but just being prepared when a client comes in, signing them into the appointment for them, documenting fitness goals, staying up to those dates, staying up to date on those notes or results from previous sessions really helps enhance that that entire experience, especially because you're selling kind of a premium product there with appointments. And then take advantage of that book again feature to have the next appointment scheduled before your client leaves the facility. Just a really quick and easy way to ensure they're coming back. We've seen this with the gyms that implemented. You're much more likely to ensure recurring appointment revenue and rebooked appointments when you have that conversation in person, kind of right at the end of the appointment, whether it's personal training, nutrition coaching, kind of whatever it is, they're most likely to be able to book again right there rather than having to call them or send an email afterwards. So that's why we built the feature, but training coaches or any service providers on it is really important. So that was the live demo. Hung, thank you so much for doing it live. That I think hopefully showed people exactly what features we're talking about and how to use them. And now Hung and Bailey are going to go back over some new stuff coming out in the next few weeks and months.
Yeah, thanks again, Hung, and also Brendan for that walkthrough. So now that we've gone over the current functionality of Coach View, I'm going to pass it over to Bailey to give you all an exclusive sneak peek at more exciting features coming soon to Coach View.
Thank you so much, Liz. Yeah, really excited to share these with you guys. The first one up that we have is Retain Spotlight. The early feedback on Retain has been very positive, but we've gotten a lot of requests asking to expand the functionality and visibility of retention throughout the entire application, and especially on Coach View. Retain Spotlight is a customizable system meant to highlight clients at key stages of their journey at our gyms in order to make sure coaches engage with them and maximize retention. For example, here you can see I've set up 3 spotlights. The first is the default at risk. That's the one that Hung covered earlier. But now you will also have the ability to create more, including a green new spotlight for trials, drop-ins, and clients in their first 7 days, as well as a nurture spotlight for clients within their first 90 days. These are going to be pre-built for you, but feel free to make your own spotlights that make the most sense for your business. For example, maybe you want to specify if a client is within their first 30, 60, or 90 days, for example. On the right-hand side, you can see how this will work in Coach View. Employees can sort by spotlights and check their key if they need a refresher on what each of them means. This way, coaches never miss the most important clients during class. Next up is Waiver Answers, which is another exciting addition on the way. So this will give you the ability to view answers from a variety of waivers inside of Coach View. So Wodify digital waivers are a great way to protect your business and also collect information about your clients. But we've heard a lot of feedback about how the waiver answers are kind of difficult to access right now. Today, you have to open the waiver file from the client's profile in Core in order to see those. With this new feature, coaches can quickly access all of the waiver answers in Coach View from the client detail page. You will see the questions that they answered, the responses that they gave, the date of the waiver, and the specific waiver that it came from. For example, we can see here that a client noted some asthma as a previous health condition, along with a previous leg injury. And that's Waiver Answers. We got one more for you. Finally, we will be releasing Task soon, which is extremely exciting. As some of you may know, we're releasing Task as one of our upcoming features. It will give you the ability to manage everything from lead and client nurturing to front-end desk duties. Basically, anything you need to manage your day-to-day operations. As part of that, we knew it would be critical for employees to be able to manage their tasks from the mobile app through Coach View. This is a sneak peek of the task experience for your employees. So when a new task is assigned, the employee will get a push notification so they can immediately take action. We also surface upcoming tasks due on the Coach View homepage, right below their schedules, so they can see it right when they log on in the morning. On the task details page, employees can also see the task description, due date, who it is assigned to, any comments that have been left on it, and details about any associated clients or leads. We will also give you the ability to take quick actions such as sending a text, an email, or create an in-app chat. Finally, you can see all of your tasks by going to the Profile tab and selecting Tasks at the top. This will show the employees their task in order of due date. By bringing tasks into Coach View, we hope to create an efficient and simple way to stay on top of everything going on at your gym. Now I'll hand it back to Liz to go over a couple other major features coming up on our product roadmap.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Bailey. It's so exciting to see how we're putting even more tools in the hands of coaches, all in the name of improving retention. So now I'm going to go over some more upcoming features that you can expect to see soon. So the first is Media Library. So this actually came out a few days ago, so you all have access to it. But if you weren't aware, our Media Library lets you upload videos, pictures, and documents to folders in order to be accessed on demand by your clients or employees, or used as visual content in workouts. So a great example of how to use this is to create a library of common movement demo videos that your clients will be able to access at any time from their mobile app. So then next, task management. So as Bailey mentioned, on August 25th, we're releasing task management. And this has been one of our most highly requested features on our ideas portal. And we just really can't wait to get it in the hands of all of you and help streamline your operation. So just had to mention it again because we're really excited about that one. All right, and then the icing on the cake here is our marketing automation workflow tool, which you may have heard about before. We actually sent out a teaser video for this a few days ago, but that's also on our YouTube if you want to access it. So this powerful visual workflow builder will be fully embedded directly in Wodify Core, and we plan to launch with pre-built marketing automation workflows that you can easily implement in your own library. So you'll be able to create custom workflows using all of your data in Wodify. For example, if someone goes into Coach View and tags someone is injured, like Hung showed, you could automatically create a task for a head coach to maybe call that client and check in on them. So that's just one example of what marketing automation can do, but there's so many different possibilities. So I hope you're as excited as we are. Yeah.
So sorry for interrupting, but can I go back just to Media Library really quick and so for everyone who doesn't know, we released that last Friday. So it's available now, and it seems to be, we've gotten some really good feedback on implementation so far that I just wanted to share with folks to give you some ideas on how to use that. So Media Library lets you upload content, videos, images, PDFs, and then have it accessible via the mobile app, either for coaches or for clients. And so just a few examples I've heard of. One is creating a library of common movement demos, and you can organize them in folder structures and get access to certain segments. But if you have 10 Olympic weightlifting movements you want everyone to watch or something, that's a really good use case for it. Another one is any nutrition guides or PDFs you want to upload. And then the last one is any gym standards that you want to upload as well. And some of those might be only applicable for staff, some might be applicable for clients, but just wanted to share those ideas because it's a very kind of open-ended and flexible tool. You can upload any kind of media, you can set permission levels, we expose it in the app. So I'd really encourage you to give it a try if you haven't already. And those are just some examples if you don't know where to get started.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for that context, Brendan. I think it's really helpful to know how you can use Media Library because there's just so many different options. So yes, please dive into Media Library and give it a try and give us your feedback. So I hope that you're all as excited as we are about all of these new features, but you can always keep up to date with what we're working on via roadmap.wodify.com. So please check that out. All right, so I know we covered a lot today, so we just wanted to remind you of the support you have available to you as a Wodify customer if you have questions about Coach View or anything else. So I'm sure most of you have had experience with our support team on technical issues, but I really want to emphasize you can contact us for anything you need. So no matter what pricing tier you're on, you can email our support team 7 days a week at support@wodify.com. Our team is also available for 15-minute one-on-one coaching calls via Zoom if you need to dig into a deeper issue you might be having. We'll be able to see exactly what you're seeing and find you a solution. Now, if you're a grow or promote customer, we also have live chat available, and this is the quickest way to get a solution. And lastly, if you're a promote customer, you have your very own Wodify account manager to make sure you're always set up for success. So we're really here to serve, and we truly want you to be successful. So our team is equipped to help you with any form of support you need in your business. So please reach out to us. All right, so with all that being said, before we hop into Q&A, I just want to leave you all with a few key takeaways from today's session. So first, your feedback is really critical to our design process. Our roadmap is heavily driven by your customer feedback and the use cases that you all advocate for. So please continue to leave us feedback either via support or ideas.wodify.com so we can make sure Wodify continues to provide the most value to you. Next, we really believe that every coach should be using their phone to enhance the client experience. As you learned today, Coach View is a very powerful tool that you can use to personalize classes and create that VIP experience for appointments. However, this only works if your coaches are using their phones. And we recognize that in the past, sometimes coaches having their phones on them on the floor has been viewed as a distraction, but we've seen the gyms that implement this have amazing feedback from both employees and clients. So highly recommend that. Next, creating that personalized experience is the key to retention. So, capturing videos and pictures of your clients' results, showcasing their progress over time can significantly contribute to engagement and retention, and then also ensuring that you have complete and accurate data for every client. So those profile pictures, tags, and notes, that really helps your coaches provide a tailored experience. So lastly, after this webinar, we really encourage you to hold a meeting with all of your coaches to review these features and how everyone should be using Coach View. You'll also be sent the recording, which you can definitely share with your employees. So those are some key takeaways from today. Thanks for joining us. But now let's move on to Q&A. Our team's going to answer some of the questions you have. So this is a great opportunity if you want to talk to us live to use the raise hand option if you want to ask a question live. But let me take a look in the Q&A tab. All right, so from Christine, is there any plans in the future to allow for a more robust coaching scheduling program? Maybe that's for Hong.
Yeah, for sure. So right now we don't have any concrete plans in the works, but we're obviously always open for feedback. I'm also more curious about the question as well. Robust coaching schedule, does that mean personal training? Does that mean like specific workouts for clients? I'd just love to know more about this particular question if possible.
Yeah, Christine, if you want to give some context. Oh, raised hand, perfect. You should be able to, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, hello.
Oh, okay. Sorry about the background noise, but reason I'm asking is we have set classes daily, but right now we're not able to easily assign coaches to classes. We do our scheduling a month at a time. I'm using an outside system right now to schedule, but they're all associated to classes that we already have that are reoccurring within Wodify. So I was just curious if there is any sort of plans other than me having to go through the class list and add a coach one by one, which can be really tedious to do. And I did it for a few months and I was like, it takes too much time. So just curious if there's a plan to have a better option for scheduling when, you know, you have coaches that are already assigned to classes for classes in the future.
So at this time, we currently don't have any plans related to that, but if possible, I'd love to like meet with you for like 30 minutes, 15 minutes and go over sort of this experience with you. Cause like, I kind of want to understand the pain points and we can definitely put this into the roadmap if we think this is a big priority for us. But yeah, I'd just love to dive deeper into this specific issue with you guys and look at it after this call.
That would be awesome. Thank you.
Yep, no worries.
Yeah, Christine, I have your email, so I'll share that with Hong afterward. Thank you. All right, let's take a look. From Adam, he just submitted this. So on the coach scheduling, it would be epic to be able to get a calculation of how many hours each coach coaches so we can easily run payroll. Do we have a way to do that?
Hey, Adam. Yep, there's definitely a way for coaches to look at payroll. You have to make sure that it's set up in Wodify and payroll. And then as coaches sign into their various classes, they can go into their settings menus in the client app and just hit the payroll tab at the very top. And they should be able to see how much they should be paid as long as everything is set up correctly in Wodify Core. So I'm sure a support specialist can sort of meet with you and help you walk you through that as well.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, let's take a look here. Do you have an example of specific feedback we received from a customer that you put into Coach View?
That's for me. Yeah, so we've had a lot of feedback. One humbling story I want to share with all you guys is that we made a decision at one point to sort of change the percentage grid to the percentage slider, which sort of is what we have in Coach View. We got tons of client feedback saying it's way easier to look at a grid, way easier to just spot check what sort of percentage you want. And so we sort of implemented something and then sort of reverted it back. And so, yeah, all the time, there are tons of features that we get, feature requests we get from both clients and admins, and we implement that a lot. For example, even the profile picture upload feature was one of our requests. So yeah, tons, absolutely.
Cool. And then I see Ricky's raising their hand. So let me unmute you.
Yeah, this question's for Hung real quick. I would like to also piggyback off of the previous one about the scheduling because we use different scheduling, like either Google Calendar or some kind of time tree app where coaches can go in and fill out their own schedules and then fill in gaps. And then to go in manually and update each coach in Wodify one by one because most members love to see who's coaching for the day and what class time. So if there's a way that we can build in that schedule so the coach can go in there and sign up for classes so we can see it as a whole, that'd be great.
Yeah, for sure. That's great feedback. Liz, and also Ricky, if you're down to meet as well, I'd love to get your feedback 101 as well.
Yeah, definitely down. Thank you.
Awesome. Yep.
Cool. Okay. I think this is a question from Andy. So he said, I've seen this come and go, but being able to search the workout library for things inside the workout, not just by what's in the title. Is that a question about future functionality, I'm assuming?
Yep. Yeah, this has come up a few times. We definitely want to increase how robust our search functionality is. It's obviously rudimentary because it's only the current name, but this is something that we're actually looking into. I can't give you a definitive timeline, but definitely continue to give us this feedback so we can know to prioritize it and sort of make that update to the search functionality. Great question.
Awesome. Okay, Quentin is raising their hand.
Oh, Quentin had a good question in the chat too about sharing media library.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Just wanted to say y'all are making great progress with the software, both on core and in the app. So I'm really impressed. I just want to give you all some praise. So great job. Keep up the work. It does not go unnoticed. I'm wondering what the pipeline for the in-app chat is looking like in the future, because I'm really excited to use it, but there's just a few limitations that's preventing our business from going fully into it.
So I see that Alana is going to answer this question live, but Alana, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. I didn't mean to click that, but
Oh, I can take it then. Sorry. I
yeah,
thought
do you
were
mind,
fine.
Tong? Sorry. Thank you.
No worries. I was like, oh, Alana. Okay, cool. So yeah, so I'm actually the PM for in-app chat, and there's another PM who sort of oversaw the media library relaunch. But yeah, that was absolutely a question that we talked about literally this week. We definitely want to ensure that the contents in media library gets sent via in-app chat. So that's a feature we're actively working on. And it'll be a V2 at some point in the future. Great question. And if you have any other feature requests like that, definitely send them our way.
And Hung, just to piggyback on that, Quentin. Well, first of all, thank you for the kind words too, Quentin. Appreciate it. And we're going to keep doing more of these webinars to kind of reinforce the stuff we're doing and our process. But the other somewhat workaround you could do right now for in-app chat, but I think it actually works quite well, is just setting up your media library and then sending them a chat directing them to go explore that. So for example, the folder structure works really well, where I think the example you gave was, is there a way to have sending a new student an info packet or welcome video? Right now, you could chat them and say, hey, go check out our media library and start on the welcome to our gym folder. In there, you'll find a welcome video and an info packet. And it's a little bit of a workaround, but the benefit is you're kind of like teaching them about the concept of media library and how and where to access that information. So in the future, they kind of know like, okay, here's where I can chat and ask questions, and then I can go over to my media library tab and consume that content.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, keep asking us good questions in Q&A. This has been great. From Christine, through the marketing automation tool, will it be easier to track new trials and when they no-show? One of my concerns is trials falling through the cracks when they no-show and not knowing when I need to follow up.
I feel like we're just giving all these to Hung. Hung's doing a good job answering all the product questions, but if you have anything to add, Hung, feel free. My quick 2 cents on this is the answer to your question is yes, it will certainly be improved and easier. And there's 2 kind of approaches that we're doing here. As we release the ability to create workflows in marketing automation, you will be able to automate a lot of those things. So for example, you could have an automation where like, if they no-show, a task is created to call that client or something. So it'll be a lot easier to stay on track of that. But in conjunction with marketing automation, we are also going to put some work into redesigning our lead management UI. So right now we have a lot of the functionality to track and manage leads, but we've gotten a lot of requests to make the UI a little bit more intuitive and easier to kind of maybe like drag and drop across more of a visual way to manage leads. So I think between workflows and those improvements will definitely make it easier to ensure no one's slipping through the cracks.
Yeah, that's a great answer, Brendan. I just want to add a couple things. So we recently actually just launched SMS, and SMS will go hand in hand with the sort of a Wodify workflows marketing automations package feature. Our goal is always to have you guys spend the least amount of time possible doing busy work in Wodify Core and to increase value so that every touch point you have with leads or clients is personalized and high value. And so, I just want to piggyback off of the SMS. In the future, you'll be able to, set it up so that you can sort of like send out a text to potential leads to make sure that free trial doesn't like fall through the cracks. And you can sort of automate it so that like there's various timeframes in which you can do that, as well as tons of other things like emails and stuff like that. So yeah, that's definitely our goal. We definitely want to lean into automations and ensure that our lead management process is robust and high value in the future.
Yeah, definitely. That was great. Anyone else have any other questions? Anyone want to be brave and unmute? We got a lot of great questions, so it's okay. All right. Well, I know I saw in the Q&A tab a lot of questions around like future features and functionality. So, I mean, as I mentioned, just please continue leaving us feedback, ideas.wodify.com, and we'll make sure to take a look and try to implement what you're asking for. But yeah, so if you have any other support related questions, please reach out to support@wodify.com. Our customer success team will get back to you ASAP. But that's all we have today, everybody. So thank you so much to Brendan, Hung, and Bailey for taking the time to join me. And thank you to all of you for attending and participating. As I mentioned, you'll each receive a recording of this session via email, and we'll also be posting this on YouTube. So we really, really highly encourage you to use this as a resource for your business in the future. But other than that, we look forward to seeing you at our next webinar. So have a great rest of your Tuesday. Thank you for joining.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.